Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. As you can hear probably in my voice, I'm not really in it. I'm not in the mood. But I just wanted to talk about this film. It's also a good friend of mine, well, ex-friend, had to let him go. Uh, because, Amos 3 and 3, can two walk together and agree? So it's kind of a weird day for me. A very weird day. Anyway, I saw this film a couple of days ago. I enjoyed it so much. I'm actually glad I didn't go to the cinema because I would have been bouncing around in my seat. I'd have spoiled the film for everybody. This is my kind of film. I understand. I just totally understand when these films. Matrix Resurrections, same thing. I just totally understood. It was like this film's talking to me or us if you're of like-minded, conspiracy-minded. I'm sure everybody everybody who's been up to their neck in it understood this film as well. I really liked it. The entity, it just made so much sense, man. It made so much sense. I was like, bingo, bullseye, hit the spot. Oh man, it just ticks so many boxes. Like the triggers was just going off like bing, bing, bing in my mind. Uh, so we're here, guys. We are here. I don't like this world. I really don't like it. It has to end, man. It has to end. I'm really tired. Either we leave out of here and go back to basics, or I'm done. I'm ready I'm ready. I'm ready to go sleep with my fathers. Seriously. I've had enough. I'm tired of being told, go online, go online, go online, go online. I'm tired of being asked, scan the QR code, scan the QR code, scan the QR code. What you're all telling me is to do everything through the all-seeing eye. Everything through the all-seeing eye. This is it. This is the digital prison, people. This is it. Is it too hard to ask to live off the grid? I mean, you can't live totally off grid, of course, because you need bank accounts, you need this, you need that. But I just want simple life. I want to be able to get my job. I want to work. I want to come home. I want to pay my bills. I want to be left alone. Who would have thought I would have survived this long without a smartphone? 5 months without a smartphone. And am I bothered? Not at all. Not at all. I really don't miss it. Because I have my tablet which sits at home. I don't want to carry this thing around with me all the time. Knowing everything, hearing everything, knowing everywhere I go. You open up Google and it's like, oh, you went to this place, do you want to give it a review? And it's like, well, that's none of your business. I went there. It's horrible. Is this the future you want for your kids? Well, there's nothing you could do about it now. It's too late. Like, we've been trying to tell you. You just bury your heads in the bleeding sand. So now they just make it even more difficult if you don't have a smartphone. If you've gone back to basics and you've just got the basic phone, they make it so much difficult for you. I mean, think about it, people. Everything you have to use to do your phone can easily be stolen. You can easily lose your phone. And there it is, like you're lost without it. And with this new world coming, where everything online, they're going to close down the stores and everything, you're going to have to wait to get your replacement phone. So you're going to be off grid, not being able to do anything until that new phone comes. Which is why we can see, which is why the book says they're going to put everything in a chip and they're going to put it in your hand. You can't lose that, can you, if it's under your skin in your hand, right? And then on the forehead for people who maybe have lost an arm, you know, or can't lift their arms. This is it, the entity. Seeing everything, knowing everything. Especially the bit with Benji in the airport. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Well, you should have seen it by now. And it's like, it's asking him questions. It already knows him. He already knows the whole group. This is it. But some of you, you don't have a clue because you're not a threat to it. Some of us do because we see what's going on. We're trying to move away from it so it doesn't affect us as much. So it's not following us. So it's not learning everything about us. So it's making our lives increasingly difficult so that we do allow them back in by carrying the Trojan horse, which is called the smartphone. I don't like it. I want the right to live off the grid. Is that too much to ask for, politicians? Is that too much to ask for? But no, everywhere you turn, everywhere you go, everything you do, you have to do it through your phone. I don't want to carry that thing no more. It just makes sense now. Like, remember a few years ago, the big push for cybersecurity, everyone in cybersecurity. Yeah. And then now I think, oh, the work from home. Yeah, the double speak, the meanings behind cybersecurity and the meanings behind working from home. No one can see what you're actually doing. What underhand tasks you're being told to do by the entity. You can't see the walls closing in, people. Well, some of us are. We feel it. We feel it. Oh, man. Life's just getting more and more difficult for us. So it makes us wonder, how long have we got? Because this enduring is hard. It's a lot. It's a lot. So now I'm like backed into a corner where I have to decide, if I go this way, are there going to be people waiting to devour me, to mess with me, to put me through the same games I've been through these past 3 years? Or do I go that way and just sit it out and trust? And, you know, it might be people trying to help. It's like you don't know who to trust now when you've been messed with for so long by so many people. And it hurts sometimes it really hurts when you actually like someone, you get along with someone, and then you find out they're a snake. And you had that feeling all along. It's like, yeah, little buddy, now I know why you kept on recommending that film, Tears of the Sun. You kept on recommending that film. Okay. What I would say to you is, yeah, what? That's the exact reason why we need to go home. It's not going to scare us from going home. That's the reason why we need to go home. We need to get rid of outside influences, outside interferences. Which that process has already begun. I just want the right to live off grid. I want to go back to basics. I don't like this. I'm fed up of strange things happening to my tablet. I'm fed up of questioning, how does this person know this? And I'm fed up of people, when you know that they know, or that they should know, pretending that they don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired of playing this game. I don't like games. We're not 14-year-old girls. I just want the right to live off grid. I want the right to be left alone. And especially them knowing that you don't have a smartphone on you anymore. You don't have a voice recorder. You don't have a camera, carrying a camera with you. It just gives them extra license to mess with you, because you can't like actually get your phone out and start filming like everybody does. Which is what happened to me at the job centre. Every little thing. It's like losing your phone through a company that works with the company you work with. So like got a taxi home from my workplace, allowed me to get a taxi home. I lost my phone in the Uber. I contact Uber saying, look, where's my phone? I need my phone back. And they're all doing some nonsense about how, oh, we're gonna send a code to get your lost property back. We're gonna send you a code. And it's like, you're sending the code to the phone I've just lost. Duh. This is the stuff that really drives me mental and makes me just want to start effing and jeffing and smashing place up. Because it's stupid. But then, like 3 months down the line, when you send them, they're asking for feedback on their service, and you send, look, I lost my phone. Like, it's not, you know, who lost their phone. You know, why can't you just hand it back in at my workplace? Basically, I wrote in the feedback section. And then all of a sudden at work, you're hearing your many songs from your playlist. These are the kind of mind games I'm talking about, people. It's very subtle. Very subtle. So now you know why I go on the offensive, and how some of the stuff on my channel doesn't make sense, because it's directed in a certain direction at the entity, at the people who are working with the entity. This was my kind of film, but you know, nobody's coming to save us, guys. No Donald Trump, no General Flynn, none of these people. Nothing. Only Christ. And I'm on that team. I want to be on that team. And you know, this is what I keep saying. Some of us, we have so much sympathy, so much empathy, so much hope, and it's being beaten out of us. It's being beaten out of us. It's being beaten out of us. Is that for a reason? Is that for a reason? That's what I start to think now. Is that for a reason? And that reason is 12,000 from every tribe. And like I said, there's not many of us. And that's why when I look back at my life, I would not have done this if Yahuwah didn't put a curse on me himself. I would not have done this. There's no way I could have done this on my own. If the last 7 years hadn't been torture, absolute torture, there's no way I would have done this. Because there's not many of us. So once one of us makes that choice, which I did in that hospital bed, that's it, bang, you're mine now. You're mine now. And I didn't realize that until 2019. It took me 3 years to work out what was going on. And even then, a letter. I'm reading my Bible now, and I'm just reading John, 1 John, and a letter fell out of my Bible that my mum wrote to me 3 years ago. It wasn't exactly to me. It was a prayer which she wrote down and she gave it to me, which I might share with you one day. It was deep. And it's just refreshed a lot of things. Made me understand some more things. But I've had enough, I've had enough. This thing is so difficult. But we're enduring. Nobody understands. Except for us, who are really doing this. Who are actually fighting and exposing. People disappearing, people turning weird. People who are not themselves. This is crazy. And like I said, if you can't believe these earthly things which we're trying to tell you, we're trying to explain to you, how are you going to believe when the heavenly things start happening? How are you supposed to believe the heavenly things which are told to you in this book? This is real. And the politicians, the celebrities, everybody on that idiot box, everybody's trying to sing you back to sleep. Everybody's desperately scrambling so that you won't believe. So now the world's waking up to us, telling you who we are and what's happening. So now the entity and those who work for it, the workers of iniquity, the synagogue of Satan, they have to make it look like prophecy's happening, but on that side, the way they want it to look like. But remember, they already told you that 1948 had already happened. Remember, they told you that. So it should be peace, peace without wars, which we know clearly not. They're desperately scrambling. You didn't have no money to give us our reparations. After centuries of free labour, breaking our backs, whipping the flesh off our backs, raping our women, making our men perform sex, tearing our children out of our arms. You know, all the atrocities and all the horrifying things that happened during slavery. We don't deserve reparations, but yet you got millions and billions to send to Ukraine. You got millions and billions to send to Israel. All the while pretending that you were broke because of COVID. We're not the only ones listening. The Heavenly Father, He sees everything. He's everywhere. You can't hide from Him. And He's listening. And you wonder why He wants to utterly destroy you. It's not about individuals. It's not about how blah, blah, blah. If you're not with them, step away. Pick up the book, give your life. But these people are set for destruction. Your world has to end. And if you don't agree with that, if that makes you angry, then you know who you are and you know where you're going. You know where you're going. And like I said, you keep beating it out of us. You keep beating the sympathy out of us. You keep beating the empathy out of us. When the shoe's on the other foot, and you're all jumping in boats to flee Europe. We're listening.